Hi, I'm Ronnie, WS Tyler's content writer. We understand that there are a lot of questions surrounding architectural mesh, so we sat down with our sales manager, Wendy DeCapit, to ensure you have everything you need to get started. One of the most important aspects of architectural mesh is the material that it's made out of. We typically use a 316 stainless steel to produce our mesh, however, there are other options available. Wendy, take it away.
So we can supply architectural mesh basically in 3 different types. So we can do a rolled product or a rolled good where you yourself as the manufacturer or the fabricator will go ahead and cut those pieces to size to what you need. We can also supply those in cut to size pieces based on your drawings that you're supplying to us. So the exact size that you're going to need, cut to size, ready to install wherever you need to go into your framework. We also supply, which is 90% of our product, we also supply a fully engineered system. That fully engineered system is going to be your mesh, your mounting, your hardware, and your structural calculations and your shop drawings based on the project that you're supplying us with. So all of our architectural mesh is manufactured from an architectural grade 316 stainless steel. We can weave in 304, however, we recommend the 316 stainless steel because it is more durable. And if we were going to weave in 304 stainless steel, it's something that we would only recommend for an interior application, nothing that we would recommend for an exterior application. And right now, the cost between 316 stainless steel and 304 stainless steel is pennies. So by all means, go with the higher quality stainless steel for your application.
What makes architectural mesh so unique is the manufacturing process, which means not everyone is equipped to produce it. WS Tyler in particular produces our mesh overseas. Wendy can explain this further.
So we weave all of our architectural wire mesh in our parent company located in Germany. So the mesh is manufactured there because they have the high-speed weaving looms that it takes to manufacture the mesh, and these weaving looms are dedicated specifically to architectural mesh only. There's no other stainless steel that's woven on this. It's strictly architectural mesh. They also have the ultrasonic bath that all of the mesh panels go through. So during the weaving process, you'll have a tendency to have some sort of oil or tackiness that happens or some sort of residue that happens on the mesh as it's weaving. So once it goes through that ultrasonic bath, that bath will then rinse off or wash off all of that oil, that tackiness. So when your mesh arrives on site, it's going to be nice, bright, shiny, smooth to the touch. There's not going to be any chemicals on this mesh, so it's actually arriving chemical free. So it's an eco-friendly product at that point. Depending on how you're buying the mesh, whether you're buying it in large rolls, whether you're buying it in cut to size pieces, whether you're buying it on a fully engineered product, that all depends on how it's going to ship. So typically it's going to ship in very large rolls on pallets. It's going to then get put onto a container, so it's going to then be shipped across the ocean to you. And then it takes about 6 weeks from the time that it leaves our facility in Germany to the time that it arrives on site to your location.
As you begin to finalize your upcoming projects, you should be aware of what WS Tyler will and will not provide. Here's when we need to break down WS Tyler's scope of work.
So what WS Tyler is going to provide to you as the consumer, we're going to supply a fully engineered mesh panel ready to install. So we're going to, again, provide the mesh, the mounting, the hardware, the structural calculations, the shop drawings, the engineering services, everything that you're going to need to attach the mesh panel to your substructure. So what WS Tyler does not include, or what's not part of our scope, is the substructure or the installation. However, we do have recommended installers that will provide you with an installation cost as well as the opportunity to have that angle supplied for you.
The most frequently asked question that we receive is how much the project is going to cost. In short, there are several factors that ultimately dictate the cost of an architectural mesh system. Here's Wendy to provide more insight into these factors.
Great question. So architectural wire mesh, the price can be dependent on so many different factors. So one of the things we take into account is the type of mesh that you're using, the size of the mesh, how much mesh. So depending on if you're using a large quantity or small quantity, that can, change the price as we go from there. General rule of thumb, what you can say on average, if you're looking at wire mesh, not cable mesh, but wire mesh, averages about $20 to $25 per square foot.
It's important to understand what to expect when it comes to lead times. Because we manufacture our mesh overseas, times can vary. Let's see what Wendy has to say.
So once we receive your final approved drawings, we're then going to go ahead and order the raw wire. That raw wire process for us to get it in-house, about 4 to 6 weeks just for the raw wire. Once the raw wire arrives in site, we're then going to go ahead and crimp it, start weaving, and then finish fabricating. That usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks depending on the size of the job. Once we're done with fabrication, we're then going to go ahead and crate that up. We're going to send it to port. It's going to get put into a container. It's going to come across the water for us. So typical lead times, we're looking at about 14 to 16 weeks. And a lot of that really just depends on how long it takes for it to get from the port to the following port and then through customs. So once it arrives in customs, you're about a week away from delivering it on site. The installation process is going to be dependent, right? It's going to be different from project to project. A standard installation, if we're looking at 4 elevations of a parking garage, you can average about 1 to 2 weeks for final installation. Interior installations, as far as lead times are concerned, again, depending on the size of the project and depending on the complexity of what's going on with these panels, you could average, again, probably about a week to 2 weeks on site with it being installed.
Thank you for taking the time to answer those important questions, Wendy. If you'd like to begin incorporating architectural mesh into your upcoming projects or have further questions, you can call us at 1-800-321-6188 or email us at arcsales@wstyler.com. As always, be sure to check back to our Learning Center for all the latest news on the world of architectural mesh. Thanks for watching and have a great day.